Hello there, welcome to week 6. This is going to be another very short video. It'll start getting longer as we get into next week because we're going to be starting something new. But this week it's really all about just finishing up your expanded definitions and thinking forward into the next assignment, which is instruction manuals, which is fun. At least people tend to enjoy it. And I'll talk more about instruction manuals next week. But I just want to walk you through the weekly unit page and a couple of comments, and that's really about it. So all you're doing is, okay, the videos, I'm making it, so it'll be here in a minute. The full draft of the expanded definition, including the conclusion, which is just what did I learn from doing this project, doing this assignment? How are things used differently? What's a comparison, contrast between the different uses? What did I learn about audience? What did I learn about my term? Okay, so you're doing the conclusion and adding that to your expanded definition, and then making sure the whole thing is in the folder, is in the Google Doc, it's in the drive, so I can look at the whole thing. All right. I've been checking in and looking, although I haven't left a lot of comments, just to see how you guys are going. I've had a couple of conversations with people on Slack about what does it mean, what does context mean. And it really just means, how is this term being used in this particular article? It's probably being used differently in a professional article than if it's something for, like, a quick information article in the New York Times, right? So what does it say about the audience for the, A, for the article, and B, how the writer has not re-envisioned, but sort of rethought how they're going to define that term. And by the way, the two sentences definitions things were a lot of fun. I haven't left a lot of comments, but I will finish those up this weekend too. I managed to get behind a little bit because I got sick, but I'm okay, and I'll catch up. I don't have COVID. I'm fine. Just kind of knocked me out for a couple of days. Migraines. All I'm saying. So that's all you're really doing, and that's what's due on Monday, is just make sure you get the whole thing up there. Get it finished. Go back and do as many revisions as you want to. Go look at what each other is putting up there and see if there's things you can learn from each other and from the comments that I'm going to be leaving over the weekend. And do some revision work on it now if you want to. Okay, that's fine. You'll be able to do it again, do some more revision work through the end of the term. But if you want to start working on revisions now, that would be great. Just to save yourself some time, because you've got a little bit of wiggle room right here, which is going to kind of disappear when we get into the team project. Okay, so by next Thursday, do exactly what we did on the 500-word summary for another student's expanded definition. Now, these are going to be a little bit trickier. The 500-word summary is pretty straightforward. This one, the hard part of this one, leaving good comments, is A, always start with something, I like the way you. I'm going to go back to that thing that we did with Peter. I like the way you did this. I like the way you commented on that. I understand more about how this term is used in a different situation, okay? So there's more to comment on. And when you get to the context part, it may be that people are confused. You may be confused by how they're explaining what's in that article, and say so. I got a little confused here because, or can you explain it a little bit more? Okay? Can you make the distinctions a little bit greater, right? Those are the kinds of things that you'll be commenting on more in this expanded definition than in the summary piece, which again was pretty simple. So again, when you're leaving meaningful feedback, I like the way I got this from what you were saying. I got a little confused here. Can you tell me more about, or this was cool. So, jump in there and have a conversation with the person in the comment section on the side, just like I'm going to do. Okay, so that's all due by next Thursday. And also, there's an assignment on Perusall. There is a video titled PB&J, and I got to go find it. So hang on just a second. Wrong class. If it'll come up. I'm having a little trouble with my Chrome browser. It's just giving me all kinds of trouble. Okay. How to make a PB&J sandwich. All right. Watch that. Leave some comments. That's really all you have to do. We'll be getting into writing instruction manuals for this next week. So, where am I? Right, and then this is the instruction manual assignment itself. You're going to be writing a little instruction manual about something that you know really, really well how to do. It can be anything. As I say, and I'm not sure I say it in here. Oh, for me, I can make biscuits in my sleep from scratch. You know, I just can't. I mean, I give people the instructions all the time, right? So I can make a little short instruction manual about that, no problem, right? So pick something that you know how to do well. Anything. It can be anything. Building Legos. Heck, I just built the Mandalorian and the child, you know. So on blockheads, you know, had fun playing with the Legos on that. Good thing to do when you're sick is play with Legos. So you just pick something you do really well, and then this is the process on how to create it. Again, I'm not going to go into it too much here, but the big things are step by step. It's got to have images. It can be a video. It can be an infographic. There's a lot of different kinds of ways to do instruction manuals, which we'll look at starting next week. Then give it to somebody once you get a draft of it done, and either watch them make it or have them tell you what happened when they tried to use your manual to do whatever you're instructing them to do. Then you revise it. You write an introductory memo explaining. I have a certain set of questions for you down below about, you know, who the audience was, what you're trying to do, the feedback you got, how you revise it, and then it all goes into the Google Drive. Okay, there are lots of templates for creating instruction manuals. You can create your own. You can make a booklet. You can make a fold-up thing like some of these are. Okay, again, we'll start working on those next week. You'll be graded on user-friendliness, whether the steps are complete set, you know, images, the overall visual impact of the manual that you're creating, and then this is a more expanded explanation of what goes in that memo, which you do not write until you're finished. This is like the last thing you do. You make your manual, you do a usability test, which I'll talk more about next week, get feedback from them, do the revisions, and then you write this thing to go with it. So that's what we're up to. This one, again, is a lot of fun. When I do it in class, when we're actually in person, I bring in this enormous box of Legos and people build things. And then they try to, you know, other people in the class try to build the thing off of the instruction manuals that people write. So it's a lot of fun. So this was kind of just a little bit of a, you know, a nice break between all of that hard work with the expanded definition and context and rhetorical analysis and stuff. Although you're still doing rhetorical analysis because you're talking about who are you writing it for. You can write an instruction manual for a 5-year-old. I had one of my students do that, you know, had Duplos, and she was doing something for a kid. But mostly it's all about making something, writing how to do it, and giving it to somebody to see if it works or not. So, big thing is getting your expanded definition finished. Text me on Slack if you have questions, and I will be leaving comments on all of this stuff over the weekend, and the full one next week. Okay, so I will see you all, or not see you, or you'll see me, or something next week. Bye.